Alright, welcome back to
Just Monika.
And as for all the others...
How could I miss them?
Okay.
A group of automatron personalities designed who fall in love with you.
I mean, in fairness, she makes a good point.
Yeah, you're right. I tried everything to prevent them from doing this, so...
It's so hard to form loving relationships with people who only identify as their sex.
You know, she's not wrong with this.
Yeah.
She tries to help her friends in her own weird, sadistic way.
Well, she tried to help them by making them worse to get with me.
Yeah.
So
because she saw they were all falling in love with you.
Yeah.
So she was like, if I mess with them, then whatever.
Yeah. Essentially, she didn't feel bad about messing with them because to her they're just
code.
Yeah, code. They're not real.
Because she's broke the Matrix.
Yeah, she's literally escaped the Matrix.
That's
and
great.
they haven't. So she's just like, they're not real.
I tried everything to prevent them from doing so, but is this some kind of weird inevitability etched in this world?
Etched into this game, Derek.
Oh, this game.
This isn't a world. She has already established that this is not a world.
She knows
it's a game.
I felt really bad that you had to witness some nasty things.
I really wanted to witness some other nasty things, but I guess this game isn't that kind of game.
But I realized that you have the same perception as I do. And it's just some game.
You're right.
And I knew you would get over it.
I knew you would get over it. Technically, not wrong. I'm already over the death of my... Who was the first one again? What was her name? Whatever, it's not important.
Jill? No.
Yeah.
So, that being said, to go back, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
I'm in love with you.
I
figured as much.
Fucking tell.
You're truly the light of my world.
Mm-hmm.
When there's nothing else in this game for me, you're here to make me smile.
I mean, it would make sense that the only person who became sentient would actually fall in love with the only other thing that is actually sentient.
Yeah.
Makes sense. It's kind of hard to fall in love with a lamp when you're sentient, but pansexuals have made it work, so I don't know.
I don't think that's what that means. But continue.
No, that is... No, the worst part is, that is what that means. Pansexuals are people who are sexually attracted to anything. It's not limited.
Oh, yes, you're right.
It's literally anything.
I thought that was lamp sexual, though.
Yo, well, I mean, that's when it's specifically lambs. Alright, there's nothing else in this game that didn't make me smile. Okay. Will you make me smile like this every day from now on? Well, considering the fact that I'm pretty sure you're a still image, I don't think it's going to be that hard.
Yeah. Let me get back. Would you go out with me? I don't really have much of a choice, do
Well,
I?
considering the fact that my options are you or space...
I'll go with space.
I'll go with you.
I'll go space.
I'll join the anime club.
Yes.
Yes. Ah, thank God, they finally gave me a choice. Yes.
I'm so happy.
I'm sure you are.
You really are my everything week to go back.
I'm sure I am.
The funny part is, I mean that literally.
I killed all my friends.
There's nothing left here. Just the two of us. In this bed that I made.
And we can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. We can be here forever.
Forever.
Seriously, I don't even think time is passing anymore.
Well, based off of the fact that space keeps looping, I actually think you're right.
It's literally a dream come true.
Yeah, fair.
I worked so hard for this ending week to go back.
Fair.
This game wouldn't give me one, so I made one myself.
Again, fair.
The script is broken at this point, so I don't think anything will get in the way anymore. You wouldn't believe how easy it is to delete Natsuki and Yuri.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a folder called Characters right in the game directory.
Character folder, you say?
Kind of freaks me out how easy it is. Imagine if you could delete your whole existence just like a click of a button.
God. Well, in all fairness, you can do that in real life, too. It's called a gun.
Well, I guess that's the plus side. It gives me an easy out if things don't go my way.
Fair. I'm just casually talking about killing myself.
Is this why... This is what they mean. That kind of tells you what you have to do.
Yeah. Thankfully, it didn't come to that. I love that she was just like, I was, if everything didn't work out, I was just going to kill myself too. Problem solved.
Instead, we really got a good ending.
That's
Gosh, I'm overwhelmed with emotions. That's why you haven't changed your face?
Yes.
I just want to write a poem about this.
Yes, please do.
Don't you?
I do.
I wonder if this is part of the game still works. I guess the only way to find out, right?
Please find out. Well, Derek, make your last pathetic poem.
I don't think it matters.
Monika.
Monika.
Monika, yeah.
Monika.
Yep. Monika.
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 Onika.
Monia.
Monika.
Monika.
Moniak.
Yona.
Yona.
Monika. Mona.
Perfect.
Monika.
Yep.
Mona.
Ion.
I do love that they finally gave her a little icon.
Yeah, they gave her a little thing.
Monika. Monika.
Monica.
Monika.
Oh, Monica.
Monika.
Oh, you consider Monica?
I think we should go with
Monica. Perfect. Beautiful.
I think that was the best poem we've ever written.
I love that poem.
Hi, Leech, go back.
I again need to go back. I'm not sure where you went.
Did you write a good poem today? Don't be shy. I'd love to see what you wrote. Oh, Leech, to go back. Did you write this poem for me?
For some reason...
I didn't have much of a choice.
I feel like I could only write one for you. That's so
that's
sweet.
so sweet. That really is no end to your thoughtfulness.
I know.
I've fallen more and more in love with you. But, this poem I wrote is also for you.
Okay.
Will you please read it? Leech, to go back. Leech, to go back.
Happy ending.
Pen
happy end.
In my hand. I feel my strength, the courage endowed upon me by my one and only love. Together we have dismantled the crumbling world and wrote a novel of our fantasies. With a flick of her pen, the lost find their way in a universe of infinite choices. Behold this special day. After all, not all good times must come to an end.
Well,
about that.
Yeah, about that.
I hope you enjoyed it. I always put all my heart into my poems I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, all the poems I've written have been about my realizations. Yeah, I kind of noticed.
Yeah, you think?
Or about you. That's why.
Or about you realizing.
That's why I never really wanted to go into detail about them.
No shit.
I don't want to break the fourth wall.
Except for that.
I should have told you.
Except for that one time where I told you to save your game. Where I totally broke the fourth wall, but don't worry about that. It still makes sense to the lore.
I just assume it was the best to be part of the game, like everybody else. That way it would help the two of us end up together.
Yeah, fair.
I don't want to ruin the game or anything, You might have gotten mad at me. And realized you spent a whole $4 on this game.
About that. Well, the game was free originally.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe
even deleted my character file if you prefer playing without me.
It's funny you should say that.
Gosh, I'm so relieved.
I'm sure you are.
Now we don't have to hide anything anymore. I love how they keep telling you, hey, you should delete your folder. Delete your character.
Like my message, like my measurements.
I'm going to spend an eternity together. We go back. You should write another poem.
Are you ready to spend an eternity?
Yes.
Yes.
I have so many things to talk about. Where should I start? If it takes some time to collect my thoughts, then I'm sorry. But I have something new to talk about. In the meantime, you can look into each other's eyes. Let's see.
Alright, so welcome everyone.
It's just Monika.
Monika. So, at this point, we are stuck. We can go do something to become unstuck. I'm not going to do that. I think it would be fun to enjoy just Monika. It will also give me an excuse to talk about this game for a little bit. While Monika brings up various topics. Hey, you remember the last poem I showed you?
Oh, yes, the one right before Monika killed herself and how it messed killers and stuff.
For Yuri killed herself?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That was actually a little experiment. More of an experiment than a poem, you could say.
Yet.
I was experimenting with the different ways I could modify the game and run the code and things like that.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
It seemed like, with a little effort, I would be able to escape from the confines of the game entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, I don't know what I was doing. I messed the whole thing up.
Happens.
I did keep trying, but I doubt you'd have to deal with me doing that. Besides, this is how I was getting really desperate, you know? I didn't really feel that way anymore. I'm happy where we are now. I can tell you are too.
I know. Anyways, so she'll bring up random topics forever, and talk to you forever, until you do whatever you need to do. What I wanted to say is, me and Derek were originally going to play the original version of this game on Steam back when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, because you were like, yo, this is a perfect excuse to do this game.
Yeah, and we didn't because lag and a couple other reasons, but if we did, because Derek was screaming the game to me, he would have got a jump scare here. Because Monika will jump scare you. She'll acknowledge the fact that you're streaming her and sharing your moment with her with a bunch of other people, and then jump scare you for doing so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really good. I wonder if I'm able to change the music. That's a good question.
Something a little more romantic would be nice, you know? A gentle piano. There's gotta be something like that here. Let's see.
Maybe if I...
Oh, jeez. This isn't it at all.
Notice the music cuts out for like half a second.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
I know you don't.
I guess you shouldn't mess with things like that. I already broke so much stuff.
Yeah.
And deleted so many characters. Oh.
So many... see, that one's kind of weird to me, because she says deleted so many other characters. And I'm like, were there more girls in this game at some point?
There must have been.
That we never experienced, because she just got rid of them sooner?
Yeah.
I always wonder that. I'm not sad about it, or anything.
I'm just right to mess with things that weren't even real in the first place.
It's
not right.
It's not right, yeah.
I just focus on the present, and I'm the happiest I've ever been.
I'm sure. Anyways.
I 100% feel there was more girls in the literature club.
Yeah, I also have that feeling.
Or maybe not even just girls, maybe more characters in the literature club.
Yeah, they added DLC to this game, but they didn't add any more characters. The DLC is just characters we already knew.
Mm-hmm.
But the DLC, because we're not going to play the DLC, it's just not interesting enough to warrant a whole Let's Play of it.
Yeah,
but
like it too much.
It's good. It gives you a lot of like detailed stuff, but it's all shit I could just easily run through like really quickly.
Yeah.
But the most important thing about it is that it establishes that the DLC world and this game's world are not the same world.
Oh.
Like, apparently Monika is living through several alternate universes of this school life. And it's all as a study by, like, some scientist to develop some sort of, like, artificial intelligence.
Did you know she's a vegetarian?
I did not. Until right now.
I'm glad Monika wants to date the entity of Illegal Umbrella.
Yes, I agree completely. It was a good existence.
I don't mean to brag or anything. I also play piano.
It's just...
I just thought you'd enjoy a fun fact about me. I just decided a couple years ago that I've learned more about Earth's culture. The carbon footprint of cannibalizing livestock is unbearable. Cultivating livestock.
Hey, Monika, how about you preach to me about our planet when you don't murder all your friends, okay?
Anyway, I've decided it's not much of a personal sacrifice to stop contributing to the whole mess. So, what's that strange reason? Well, I guess a lot of people are more concerned about being inhumane and all that.
Yeah.
I don't really care about that part. I mean, you just murdered 3 of your friends.
Someone who murdered their friends.
It's weird. Like, we only care about killing the others that we personally relate to as a species.
I mean, you're not wrong on that one.
Most people are fine with killing bugs because they're icky.
Yeah.
And of course, we kill billions of microorganisms daily without even giving it a thought.
Yeah, also true.
But seriously, if they ever just a little bit bigger, it'd be murder.
It's murder.
I mean, what if a plant just feels kind of pain too, and we don't even think about it? I mean, that's been something that they've kind of realized, right?
Yeah, plants actually do feel pain. It's just they have no way to actually show or vocalize it
Yeah,
because they're
what if
plants.
we pull leaves off the stem and feel like someone's ripping off a finger of one by one? I'm just saying, we're a pretty biased species if you think about it.
So, I'd like to state that just Monika, this segment, actually ended up making me like Monika way more than when I first played this game. When I first played this game, I was kind of like, man, whatever with Monika. Until we got to here, and then I was just like, yeah, no, honestly, I agree a lot with what she comes, a lot of her statements.
That's funny. That's funny.
Pretty...
So, does she jump scare you if you stream the PC, if the port of it?
As far as I know, the jump scare isn't in the console versions.
I think it must
as
be only,
far as I'm
it
aware.
must be only coded, like, away, because you know...
I tried looking into it to find out, but I literally couldn't find any examples of it, like, happening.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm like, because I was like, maybe the PlayStation 4 version would, because you can stream directly from the console, but I don't know if there's a way for the game to know you're streaming, so I don't know.
That's interesting, though. She'll jump scare you.
Yeah.
Like, she'll become demonic and shit?
Yeah, she gets a whole jump scare. I'll, like, send it to you later. But yeah.
I mean, I could look it up right now. Well, we're just monitoring.
Yeah, it's true. Well, we got stuff.
If you ever feel a small contributor, it doesn't hurt to choose vegetables once in a while.
Fair enough.
Even if we having dinner together. Do you think you just did it for me? It would be really romantic.
It's funny you should say that. I will never do that. As a meatitarian of the Meatitarian Society, I will never allow.
What else do you want to tell me, Chris?
So,
about just Monika.
So, yeah, it's all about the artificial intelligence, and this all relates to... The theory is, although I don't know how true that theory is anymore, because, again, that game is probably never going to actually come out. The game that they made for this game...
They were planning.
They were planning. The theory is that Monika is supposed to be the main character of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And she's trapped in this game.
Mm.
But she's from the real world, and that game takes place in the quote-unquote real world.
A different reality.
Yeah. That's the...
Stuck in the machine, almost.
That was the theory, at least.
A game
I think
theory.
that theory has changed to she's an artificial intelligence in this game that's being constructed that then might play a role in the actual game now, as they establish that this is more of a test to determine, like, artificial intelligence. With the DLC from Doki Doki Plus, they emphasized more about artificial intelligence, where in the original they didn't really go into it. Anyways.
Anyway.
I've always wondered.
What's it like to be a character archetype that people will find so appealing anyway?
I don't know, ask Natsuki.
Their personalities are completely unrealistic. I don't know, man.
That's why they're so likable.
I don't know. I've met some people that actually fall into these character personality archetypes.
My favorite is I don't know why people fall for these character archetypes. They're so unrealistic. That's why people like them.
What I love
is
because
they're free real estate.
I was reading an anime or a manga, and it was one of the characters is like blah blah blah, and then she has the fucking drill horns.
Yeah.
And they got isekai'd into the world, and the character's like, holy shit. That's a legitimate drill horn shit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yes, this is funny. Like, imagine if there was someone like Yuri in the real world.
Yeah, she wouldn't be such a great choice, would she?
I mean, she'd barely even
be capable of forming a complete sentence. I mean,
you forget about Natsuki.
Hey, man, stop fucking harping on my girl.
Why are you bowling Natsuki?
Sheesh.
Someone with her kind of personality doesn't even get all cute
and pouty
whenever things don't go her way. I mean, I've actually met people
I was
like
gonna
that.
say, I'm like, I don't know, man. I've actually met a couple of tsundere.
I've met people like that. And I could go on, but I think you get the point. Are people really attracted to those weird personalities that literally don't exist in the real world?
Okay, so this is one of my criticisms of the game, because a lot of this game is supposed to be meta-commentary on, like, dating sims and how unrealistic and stupid they are.
Yeah.
Which, in fairness, they are.
Yeah.
But
they are, but at the same time, yeah.
This is one of those ones that I don't agree with, because the reason these archetypes exist is because people like these exist in the real world. That's where the archetype comes from.
Yeah.
They're just taken to the logical extreme of that personality.
like, I would say these archetypes, a person is not one of these themselves. They are a mixture of a few of them.
Yeah, well, it's like, hey, you're gonna tell me you've never met someone like Sayori. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
have met
just
somebody like
literal
Sayori.
balls of. I've met tons of people like Sayori who are just these ball of energy people, and I know it because they drain the shit out of me. Like, I cannot hang out with people like that
Chris-
for hours on end without losing it.
Like, some people work very well with those. Chris is what we call an energy vampire. And if someone is very positive energy, they make his energy siphoning powers not work, so he can't be around them for too long.
They're just too much.
Yes.
It's literally too much. They start driving me crazy, because I'm just like, there's no way you can be this fucking happy-go-lucky about fucking everything.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways.
I've met some people like that, and I'm like, oh, God, please, I need to be in space. I need space.
Right.
I'm not judging or anything.
But I'm totally judging.
After all, I found myself attached to some pretty weird stuff, too.
You don't... Please go on.
I'm just saying, it fascinates me. It's like you're...
It's like you're...
Scoping...
Siphoning...
Siphoning out all of the condiments... No. Components of a character that make them feel real. Make them feel human. And leaving it the cute stuff. It's concentrated cuteness with no actual substance.
Yeah, but here's your thing. I like dessert.
You wouldn't like me if I was like that, right?
See, you say that, but you also fall into this category. You have a fucking superiority complex.
You have a god complex.
Yeah, you literally have a god complex. Which
Maybe
literally
I just
makes
feel
you know
a little
better.
insecure because you're playing this game in the first place. Then again, you're still here with me, aren't you?
Yes.
I think that's more than enough reason for me to believe I'm okay the way I am. By the way, you are too, Iskoba.
Thanks.
Thank you. You're the perfect combination of human
And
cuteness. That's why there will never be a chance I wouldn't fall for you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Monika.
Yeah, like, Monika, you have a human god complex. And I, as someone with an inferiority complex, finds that strangely attractive.
I would like you to step on me.
But yeah, the fucking, so, someone did make a Just Monika game, which is this.
Just this?
Well, it's this, but, like, exponentially, like, more in-depth.
I feel like after a certain point, some of these will start looping.
Yes. They added like fucking 100 more conversations, or like 200 more conversations, the ability to play chess against her. She pretty much always wins.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And like they got to the point, because they keep updating it, they got to the point where she can literally like browse through your computer and your web fucking like search history and find out if you've been looking up porn of her and shit, and like she'll call you out on it.
I love it.
Oh yeah, like if you're looking up like Yuri or the other girls, she'll like call you out on looking them up and shit while you're with her and shit. Oh yeah,
I love it.
Fucking like really.
When are we
in-depth.
playing Just Monika?
I'm considering it, but that means I gotta put a bunch of shit on my computer that I probably don't want to get a lot of the conversations.
I get it.
You know.
It's just something tickly romance game.
Right?
I kind of have to ask.
Uh-huh.
What made you ever consider playing this game in the first place? Well, my buddy Chris was telling me. Were you that lonely?
No, see, my buddy... my buddy Mike told me. That's literally how it went. I told Derek to play this. And my buddy Mike told me to play this. And his buddy, I think it was Earl, told him to play it.
Dude.
So it's literally just a never-ending chain of people telling someone else to play this.
I bet. I was telling my buddy that, I started playing Doki Doki Literature Club. And he was just like, oh, dude, I have to watch you play this. Yeah. I was like, cool.
I feel bad
for you. But I guess everything worked out perfectly in the end for both of us.
I know.
I got to meet you, and you're not lonely anymore. I can't help but feel this is fate. Don't you feel that way too?
I do. I'm not happy about the ending together. Alright, so here's the thing with this.
You can't menu.
I can't menu.
Until she talks.
I literally can't menu.
Until she talks, I think.
No, I mean, like, I think even once she talks, I cannot menu.
Okay, we'll have to wait till she talks.
I wanted
Just
to bring
Monika.
I wanted to bring this up because this is one of those weird things. Because this isn't a quirk of the original game. In the original game, if you try and pause it, she'd say something, but you can't have her.
Oh no, you're
Alright.
you're trying to fast forward?
Yeah, are you trying to fast forward if I try and fast forward?
I'm not that boring. I'm not boring you, am I? Oh my gosh. Oh, there's nothing fast forward. There's nothing to fast forward to. We have to go back.
It's fun you should say that.
Oh, you can save.
Alright,
There's
hold
just
on.
2 of us after all. Besides that, time doesn't really exist anymore. So it's not like that's going to even work.
Yeah.
Here, I'll go ahead and turn it off for you.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Okay. Save.
Oh, good. We have
Save.
an empty... Oh, yeah, there's no point in saving
There is
anymore.
no point in saving.
Don't
at this
worry,
point.
I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Well, bye, Monika.
Exit the literature club. And with that, we'll have to pick it up in the next part. We'll see you guys then. Peace.